definitely enough of that. Some of that, bit of that. Let's have a look at that. So, you have to forgive me whilst I have a spot of tea on the fly. A little bit, not rushed. Rushed is the wrong word, but a little bit out of sorts, seeing as though I had to go and do some extra bits and bobs. Let me look at my channel, see whether I can watch that video as we go. See if anyone's joining us for a trade sesh. So, a bit of an update. We jumped on a Brent crude short. We entered, or I set a short entry. We entered at 5.873. Went in our favour initially, went away, and now it's going against us again. But we stick with the plan. We need to be consistent in our approach. Remember, consistency, money management, and time. We need to give the trades time to do whatever they're going to do. Whatever they're going to do. And that might be days, could be hours, could be a week. Usually on daily funded spread betting, it's not really longer than a week, but it can be. So currently down, but that makes no difference. We'll let it play out. We also set a long entry on natural gas. If you were watching whilst I was going on about this just before 12 o'clock, I was waffling on, and I should have been looking at the charts and also checking my trade plan. My trade plan said that if we weren't in the trade by 12 to cancel the trade. I was waffling on to you guys, literally waffling on, and as I'm just about to close it, I was double checking my trade plan for natural gas on a small account. It got us in, and I would have, or should have, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but I would have cancelled that, closed that before the trade had a chance to take off. But anyway, it has, and now we're in it. So now what do? We give it time. It's mainly loss management. That's what we need to do as traders. We need to manage our losses, manage the money, and be not happy. No one's ever happy at losing money, but you need to be comfortable with the loss. You need to be able to say that you are comfortable losing whatever it is that you've put down on that trade. So if it's £100, £100. If it's £35, it's £35. If it's £34.25, then it's £34.25. It makes no difference. If it's £1,000, you've got to be comfortable losing that amount for several reasons, but mainly because if you don't, and you get all het up about the money loss, if it's a loss, then you're not gonna be comfortable enough when you have a big win. You'll want to snatch those profits. You want to take that cash away. You want to be that guy who takes the 40 quid offered when the candle is retracing, when if you'd just left it for another couple of candles, you might have made 200, 300, 400 points. Anyway, I'm going to turn this music up a little bit and mute my microphone for a second whilst I have a mouthful of tea. All good. So, if anyone's in the chat, I still don't know how to see who, if anybody, is watching the stream. I'm sure I'll be able to check that out or find that out after this is finished. But anyway, if anyone's watching now or even in the future, leave a comment if you would like. But we are live in this trade, long on natural gas. Entered there, stop loss is there, take profit is whenever my system tells me to take profit. DAX, however, DAX did a number on us, didn't it? At about 12 o'clock, we were talking about the possibility of a double top here and rolling over. That isn't, for me, it's not a breakout yet. It is if it takes the high of this wick. So if it goes up above 12.511, but it's hovering around that 500 zone, isn't it? It touched it just before, touched it at 4:30 as market closes. I'm not. It's going to be, what is it? 20 to 6. I'm not going to get into a trade now. It's too late in the day. I would have set a trade now if that was the case. Dollar yen, we've not spoken about. We've not been into a trade. We looked at it earlier. We did say that it might be falling over. I've no idea which one this is. I'll have to sort that out. Might be falling over because it's not made a higher high. That's a lower high. So we would think that might be falling over. But again, you never know. It might be falling over to like a 61% retrace of this move and then bounce back up again. No idea. The dollar might be weak or strong against the yen. No ice cream. And then gold. Gold, we said that someone that I knew, would have done a 3-touch bounce off. So someone would have gone short here, and they'd still be, if they'd have gone short at this point, they'd still be in profit. But it doesn't look as though it's gone anywhere quickly like this. To me, it's gone through this trend line, so it's either going to make higher highs or it's going to breach below this daily support level and bounce back off again. I don't think gold has finished doing its move as yet. Euro pound, that's been a bit of a fluffmeister today. It's made a big move down earlier on. It made a massive move down on Thursday. That would have been a good way to start the Thursday, and it touched an interim 1 hour support. It went straight through this monthly support with this massive candle, became resistance, went back down again, and now it's gone straight through it again, become nothing because it's gone straight through it again. It's gone up, it's come straight through it again, and now it's gone straight through it again. So this monthly at the minute doesn't seem to be holding water for many of the big traders and the big fish. And back onto Brent crude. If we drop down to a 15-minute, we'll better see that if that's the high and it broke down below, this would be the breakout, and it went past the 1 hour support, and that would be the breakout. It's gone to touch it again and therefore broken down again. I got in at the break of this candle here. As it went down so quickly, it didn't get me in until just before here, but that's where I set my entry. And yes, it didn't really make a lower low. I mean, it is lower than that lower, so technically it is a lower low, and as long as this doesn't breach this hourly resistance, then we're still in that trade. If it breaches this hourly resistance, and continues on up. Yes, my stop isn't up, is all the way up here, but it's not about the money, it's about the percentage gain. So on this, if I do a full loss, that's still 1R, negative 1R. Still have to do the math on it. I'm just gonna have another bite of my tea. Give me a second, please. I absolutely love kebab, especially kebab that's been warmed up in a microwave, and a couple of hour old tin of frothy stuff. Nice. So yeah, we're losing on both of the two trades that we're in. We are 35 down on one and 365 down on the other. It makes no odds. We're still going to follow the plan. The plan is to give it time. My stop is not out or invalid until below this low, and if price does come down and break that, there's always the option, the opportunity, the theory that price will still take me out and continue on its little journey. And if that does happen, I'll be back in, because that's what my strategy says. The fact that I won't be in because I'm not going to go into another trade now, not today anyway, means that I've just lost a 1R. It's fine. And on a small account, can't really afford it, but if we let me move this over so you can see what I'm talking about. On a small account, because I've made these points and this amount, and it's 10% profit that I've made already. If I lose £100, a full loss, that's that basically 10% gone. So I'll be back down to £1,000. And then if I lose this 34 pound, then I'll be back down to less than where I started. It's no biggie, because you always have these other monster trades that carry you back over, and you make another 10% and another 10%, then a 7%, then you might lose a 10%, but you've made that 7, so you make another 5, then another 7, then another 7, then you might lose 4. It's all relative, so we don't look at the money. I might actually start blocking that out. We look at the percentage gain and the RR ratio, as we spoke about. So I'm going to leave this running. This will be on overnight. I'll leave this stream on until probably 6:30. We'll see what happens there. You can follow it yourselves, and we've got the Brent crude on. It would have been a good one to get into that DAX. I just wasn't around. No biggie. No point crying over something that you can't control. So let me just move that down a bit, then have that, then move this out of the way, then move that down to there. Get down. And then this up here. And then this down to there. Yeah. Okay, so if I move that to there and all the way over, and then move this. Oh no, on the DAX. What I want is that one to there. Let's see if that makes any difference at all. So I'm going to leave these on. I'll be checking it. Oh yeah, and I didn't have any. It seems stupid this day and age. I didn't have any internet access on my phone where I went. There are still places in this world where internet access is not available. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? But yeah, I couldn't get any internet access on my phone. Couldn't get any WhatsApp messages, couldn't get any Discord messages, couldn't send, receive tweets. I think it was down to the one less than or under 3G. I don't know what that is. It might be 2G. I'm so stupid. But even if it was 3G, I had like half a bar. It wasn't even a bar. It would flicker on and off. So so I couldn't even check to see whether the trade was going in my favour or not. I'll turn the music up for a little bit, and I might change it as well in a second. In fact, let me change it now. Let's see what we got. What we got? What are we on now? Oh, okay. How about that one? Sounds good. It's a bit psychedelic. Right, so I'm going to leave you to it for 45 minutes or so. Watch it. Watch me win or lose money. No biggie. It's not a big issue, really. Don't forget, over on Twitch, Mad Trading. Just search for Mad Trading on Twitch. We do a live stream of a 9 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Any donations to the Twitch stream goes towards the charity trades, and a percentage of both the PayPal donations and the money that we make go towards charities. Have a listen to this music whilst you're watching my chart or charts, and I'll be back on at 6:30. See you later. I'm back, people. Let me just turn this down ever so slightly. Have some of that down here. Right, so I'm going to be ending the stream shortly. Here on YouTube, I'll be on Twitch later tonight. We are still in both trades, obviously. We want natural gas to continue it. We want to breach that 2433 level and then continue on higher. I want it to breach 2460, if I'm honest, and then just keep on going. And the Brent crude, I think this might have been a hasty entry. We probably should have got in after, or set a sell order after this candle. But you know, that's hindsight, and we can't trade in hindsight. As long as it doesn't come back up past 5937. And I've set an alarm on my other account. Might see if I can set one on here as well. Let me, yeah, okay. So, price, to close if candle closes above. Yeah, we'll yeah, price 5903. No, we want it to be selected line 5937. Yeah, that's the one. So create that. Awesome. As soon as price hits that, I'll get a bing bong and I'll come in and check it and see whether I need to close it. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's gonna fall over, but the way divergence works is that this stochastic here with the price that was up there, so stochastic, when it crossed over, price was there, came down, this crossover here, you know, price didn't make a new high, then this is a lower high on the stochastic and a lower low. That's a lower high and a lower low, but now that stochastic is moving up, so now we have a higher stochastic. It's overbought, if that's such a thing, and we've made a higher high on this price. But I'm hoping that it's not going to continue up, or if it does, it should hopefully fall over during the night. Wake up tomorrow all refreshed, start again at 7 AM, and hopefully it will be into profit. But if it's not, there's no biggie. We still follow the plan. The plan does say, my trade plan does say, for a shortcut. I had to go back several PDFs, several years, in fact, to go back on my PDF library of strategies that I made, which are basically bits of other strategies cobbled together back then. But now I can make sense of it all because I've been doing it for such a long time. Anyway, my strategy says that a fib on the pull down, so I pull a fib from the high of the open, or since the open, to the low of the current time frame, which is this high here. Open was at 8 AM. That's the high of the day. This is the low of the day so far. Pull a fib, and if 50% has been breached once, you look at a 61 or 61.8. And if price then breaches at 61.8 and holds above it, it's an invalid trade. The reason why my stop is up here is because at any one time there could be this one big candle that nips up but then continues back down again, and I don't want to get whipped out. I want to be in the trade for as long as possible. We need to give it time. Remember those three things: time, money management, and consistency. And same again for the natural gas. So yes, my stop is all the way down here, but I pulled a fib from the low of the day. We opened at 8 o'clock, and it's just from the open, not the gump leading up to it. So opened at 8. The low of the day was the wick of this 2 o'clock candle. The high was the wick of that. Because this is on an hourly, the open was here, and the high would have been there, and the low would have been there, but was already in the trade come here. So it's the lowest low of the previous day, which would have been a Thursday, Friday. So on the Friday, that's the low at the 2 o'clock. That's the high at 2 o'clock today, and you take a 50%. It hasn't been breached. It's been nearly touched. Let's call it a touch. Been nearly touched. So you set your line at 50, or my line at 50. And now if price comes down to breach it once, I look for close and a loss. It's no biggie. I'm not hung up about the cash. A loss is a loss, no biggie. You've got to take losses as part of trading. So anyone that's watching now or watching in the future, it's the 14th of October 2019. It is currently 6:26 at time of this recording, or finishing this recording. I'm on Twitch later tonight at 9 o'clock for a trade wash up, and we can look back at what happened. Go over a few extra bits and bobs. If you are free, join on, have a chat, throw some comments my way, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Hopefully by then we'll still be in the trade, and we'll see what else we can do. So for now, thanks for joining, and I'll see you again. This is Mad Trader. Stay mad.